The unusual killer, Grady Stiles, also known as the Boy Crab. Grady was born in 1937 in the United States, and he received his nickname because of a genetic defect that caused his hands and feet to be deformed, resembling claws. He grew up in a street circus and eventually married another actress from the same circus. Unfortunately, Grady was not only physically unattractive, but he was also an alcoholic and had a history of domestic violence. In a fit of rage, Grady even shot his healthy daughter's fiancé just before their wedding. Due to his many illnesses, he was given only probation as no institution could accommodate him. However, 10 years later, he went back to his old ways of drinking and abusing his wife. As a result, she paid $1,500 to a fellow circus performer to shoot Grady in the head, finally putting an end to his violent behavior. This is a tragic story of a man who struggled with physical deformities and a violent personality, leading him down a path of destruction. The French doctor and serial killer Marcel Petiot. During the occupation of France by Nazi Germany, Petiot told his clients that he could smuggle them to Argentina or other countries in South America for a fee of 25,000 francs. However, instead of providing the promised service, Petiot poisoned his victims with coffee laced with poison or injected them with cyanide under the pretext of vaccinations before their trip. He initially dumped their bodies in the Seine River, but later destroyed them by immersing them in quicklime or burning them. In March 1946, Petiot was found guilty of 26 murders and sentenced to death. However, his execution was postponed several times due to the malfunction of the guillotine. On May 25, 1946, a mobile guillotine was delivered to the prison, and Petiot's sentence was carried out a few hours later. This case serves as a reminder of the dangers of trusting strangers, as well as the importance of justice and punishment. Mr. Cruel, or Mr. Cruel, was the nickname given to an Australian serial pedophile who, in the 1980s, would break into people's homes, tie up parents and kidnap their children, then rape them and release them. He left no trace behind, nor did he show his face. Mr. Cruel was never identified, so all of his crimes remained unsolved. A bounty of $200,000 was first announced for the capture of the criminal, and in April 2016, police raised the bounty to $1 million. Police described him as a very intelligent man. He carefully planned each attack, keeping tabs on the victim and his family. He left no trace for forensic examiners. His face was never seen by anyone. He treats his crimes calmly, committing them unhurriedly and with absolutely no nerves. Above is a police portrait of Mr. Cruel. We will discuss a horrific incident that occurred due to a family dispute. When Mauricio Lopez discovered that his niece, Maria Mendez, was having an affair with his sister's husband, Macario Cruz, he decided to take matters into his own hands. In a brutal act of violence, Mauricio stabbed Cruz in the heart and liver in front of Mendez and her 4 children. To make matters worse, he then filled a plastic cup with Cruz's blood and drank it before fleeing the scene. This gruesome incident is a tragic reminder of the devastating effects of unresolved family disputes and the importance of seeking peaceful solutions to conflicts. Let us remember the victim and their loved ones and work towards building a more compassionate and understanding society. Oklahoma, USA. Todd Hicks, a burglar, experienced some unexpected justice at the hands of his victim, whose house he had broken into through a window. Armed with a knife, which police say he had stolen from another house minutes earlier, Hicks crept up behind the victim in the kitchen and ordered him to lie on the ground. However, instead of following Hicks' orders, the victim turned around and punched him several times in the hips and other parts of his body. As a result, Hicks sustained injuries that can be seen in the photo taken at the police station. This incident is a powerful reminder that we all have the right to defend ourselves and our property against intruders. It also highlights the risks involved in committing a crime and the consequences that can follow. We hope this serves as a warning to potential burglars that there are always risks involved in criminal activities, and justice can come from unexpected places. Bartolomeo Galliano, a notorious criminal who managed to evade imprisonment 6 times. In 1981, Galliano was sent to a mental asylum for stoning a prostitute to death and severely beating another. However, he managed to escape and committed 2 more murders in 1989. Once again, when he was caught, he was sent to a mental institution. For good behavior, Galliano was granted a 2-day leave of absence to visit his ailing mother. However, he did not return for 2 weeks and was placed on a nationwide wanted list. Eventually, he was found, but not before he managed to shoot his new girlfriend in the head. It's a sobering reminder of the dangers of mental illness and the importance of proper rehabilitation and monitoring for those who have committed violent crimes.